it's Editing Kai. I actually filmed this video like the last week of December, but I've been procrastinating on editing, so you're getting it in 2023. So happy new year, y'all. If you haven't already, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, or just like and subscribe right now and then comment after you watch the video if you have anything that you want to say to me. If you're already subscribed, hello, thank you for returning. And if you're not subscribed, you should subscribe, and you should also like the video. All right, thank you for clicking on this video today. I just want to say that I am very stuffed up in this video. I sound very congested, so if you notice that, I'm sorry. My next video will be even greater, even better, badder and than ever. Yes, queen. But yeah, thank you guys so much for just, you know, getting my engagement up, and I love you guys with all my heart and soul, and enjoy the video. Bye. Hey y'all, it's your girl Kai, also known as D-Anxiety, and today we are going to be reading some best of Redditor updates, and I'm super excited about this, y'all. I know I haven't posted a video in like 2 months, but we're not going to worry about that right now, okay? That's in the past. We're in the present. So remember that. Just keep that in mind, that we're in the present and not in the past. So you shouldn't judge me for the past because we're in the present, and the past was in the past and now the present is now. Gotcha? Okay. I just wanted to make sure that was very, very clear. Look at my nails. Look at my nails, y'all. I know. They're so cute, y'all. So, let's see. What's been going on in my life? Christmas was like 2 days ago, and I worked during Christmas, and I don't know if y'all know, but I worked 12-hour shifts, and it was so cold. When I was leaving work and going to work, it was like 14 degrees, like 16 degrees, 12 degrees, 22 degrees, excuse me. And I was like, bro, like there's just no way that this is happening to me. I was so freaking cold. And if y'all don't know, I'm from the South. I'm a Southerner. I don't like the snow. I like snow if I'm prepared for it, but I don't like the cold, and it was like biting my bunkie type of cold, okay? Biting my bunkie, like rob me with the water gun type of cold, y'all. So no, I wasn't really playing with the weather like that for real. So yeah, but that's what's been going on. My boyfriend, he went home for the holidays, so he's still out there. He's not gonna be coming back till later today, like tonight probably. So I'll see him then, and I'm still thinking about like if I should make him dinner or not, which I might, just because like he was gone or whatever, and I can be nice, I guess, but I might, I don't know. But yeah, but for right now we're gonna be reading these story times. You see my cat in the back. So yeah, oh my gosh, I'm sorry y'all, there's something in my eye, and I'm sorry if you don't like seeing people like playing under their, like I'm not playing in my eye, I'm just like putting up my eyelashes, but it's like dang. So you know I'm blind, so we're gonna pop these glasses on. Excuse me. We're gonna pop these glasses on, and we're gonna get what? Sorry, my makeup's in the frame. We're gonna get what? We're gonna get who? We're gonna get the handy dandy iPad, bro. And for Christmas, my man got me an iPad Air. So but it's not quite handy dandy yet because it ain't got no case. So once I get the case, then that's gonna be my handy dandy iPad for these videos and stuff. But as for right now, my old iPad is still gonna be my handy dandy iPad because we just need to read the Reddit stories, period. Ooh. So yeah. Ooh. All right, so the first story that we're gonna read is, am I the a-hole for telling another gym member to wear a bra? Oh, there's a trigger warning. Trigger warning is sexual harassment. I'll have timestamps down below, and you can just go on to the next story. All right, so I 25F freaking hate wearing bras. They're uncomfortable, constricting, and expensive. With work from home, I spent the last year and a half basically never wearing a bra and got used to it. Quite frankly, my boobs are non-existent anyways. I recently started going to the gym again and started working out braless. I should note that up until now, no one has ever pointed out anything wrong with me not wearing a bra. However, in the middle of a set of squats, yes, mid-squat, a guy comes up to me, taps me on the shoulder to get my attention, and tells me that my nipples are poking through my shirt. I get really irritated because why the F is this guy staring at my nipples in the first place, and then stopping me mid-set to inform me. I get really annoyed, try to finish my set, but then this effer literally grabs the bar as I ascend and re-racks it for me. He claims it looks like I was having trouble with the last rep, and that he had come over to make sure that I could do it, then notice my nipples. I'm really effing pissed at this point and told him I didn't need his help finishing my set, and why the F was he looking at my chest in the first place. He said he was going to spot me, but then noticed my chest and thought it would be inappropriate. I pointed out that the safety bar was set, so even if I did fail the set, he wasn't needed. But he just insisted that people at gyms look out for each other, and that going forward I should probably wear a bra so other people wouldn't get uncomfortable, and that it may help me stay more balanced in my squats. I'm literally the only girl at the weight section of the gym at the moment, and the other guys who were squatting and failed sets never have to worry about this S. I've seen guys fail multiple sets in a row and no one ever rushes to their aid, but I have a very slight pause and everyone thinks I need rescuing. So now I'm really annoyed and also kind of uncomfortable that this guy I've never spoken to in my life thinks he's helping me and then has the audacity to tell me how to dress. So I tell him, you have bigger boobs and nipples than I do. Maybe you should wear a bra so people won't get uncomfortable and you won't fail your squats. Then he got really defensive, saying he was just trying to help, then called me a B. Honestly, I'm not sure if I overreacted, but I'm still kind of pissed off. Maybe that's the clouding of my judgment. Am I the a-hole? Verdict was not the a-hole. Edit to add, I'm not sure if people think I'm walking around and it's extremely obvious that my nipples are showing. I actually really hate constricting clothes. My t-shirt size is extra small, but I wear size large to the gym and pretty much everywhere lately. You can't tell my stomach from my chest. My nipples might have been showing a little more while squatting because I was wearing a lifting belt. Who the hell does he think he is? Honestly, genuinely, who the hell does this guy think he is? Shadow. What are you looking? What is he looking at? Is there a reflection of something? Anyway, I don't know who the hell this guy thinks he is. And it's just rude to go up to someone and be like, oh, well, your nipples are showing. You should probably fix that. It's like, first of all, like, do you pay my bills? Are you my man? Honestly, even my man couldn't tell me to wear a bra. I'm gonna be real. Even my man couldn't tell me to wear a bra. I'm not wearing a bra right now. Cause honestly, I don't like bras and I got a breast reduction for a reason. So I wouldn't have to wear them for real. And for other reasons too, okay, military. Like, people just need to start minding their own business more. Cause this is really, it's just inappropriate. It's incredibly inappropriate. And then for you to be like, oh, I just wanted to save you. I just thought you could use some help. Leave women alone in the gym. For the love of God, just let's leave them alone. If we are not asking for help, if we're not like, hey, can you help me out with this? Like, leave us alone. What are you doing? It's just rude. It's just rude. So guys, take pointers. If you see this, if you read this, no, we don't want your help. We don't want your help. We don't want your attention. Like, do not come up and talk to us while we're in the gym. It's inappropriate. It's rude. It's just like, it's icky. Like, at least wait until like we're done with our stuff first and then be like, hey, can I talk to you? Or like, hey, but like, don't say anything. Like, don't tell us about our bodies. Don't like say, hey. Like, if anything, he could have been like, hey, I noticed that you were like leaning up a little too far in your squats. You might want to push your back more, like push back more so you don't hurt your back or hurt yourself. Like, helpful advice like that is like, okay, that's good. But it's like, oh, I saw you were like struggling, so I just thought I'd bring my strong man boobs muscles over here and help you out. Get out. Literally just get out of here. Alright, so here's the update. Thanks so much for all the feedback on my OP. A couple of people said it was just a validation post, but to be honest, after you go off on someone like that publicly, getting a lot of attention, you kind of do feel like an a-hole, even after you feel it's justified. So yeah. I finally did start wearing bras again, and not at all because of this incident, but because I've been dealing with depression that made me not really want to get dressed in general, not just at the gym. And dressing for success has been a small way to get myself back into a better place mentally. Anyway, this guy goes to the gym roughly at the same time I do most days, so unfortunately I did have to see him again. Even though I really wanted to grab his bar out of fake concern while he was squatting, I mostly ignored him. Until 2 days ago. I was deadlifting and recording myself to check my form. The guy comes over and says something like, "You know sumo is cheating, right?" I get this comment a lot, mostly from men, half joking, and it's annoying, but I completely ignore him. He repeats it a little louder, and I continue to ignore him. I guess he sees that I was recording myself, because then he asked if I have an Instagram. I don't post lifts on my Insta, and if he could follow me. I kept ignoring him. Finally, he says something like, "I see your form is so much better now that you're wearing a bra," and I freaking lost it again. I screamed at him that he's a disgusting, harassing piece of S. Honestly, I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was admittedly very vulgar and got a lot of attention. A worker came over to me and asked if something was wrong. I said that the guy was sexually harassing me for 2 weeks and asked to speak to a manager. The guy denied it and said he was just trying to help and that I was being sensitive, but either way, the manager asked what was going on and got both our stories. Because I had been recording my lifts, I actually got a video of him where he commented on my bra, so the manager gave him a 30-day ban and told me if he ever bothered me again to let her know, so she would permanently ban him. So I feel kind of vindicated, but I also feel a little frustrated that just one man actually saw the consequences for this kind of behavior towards women in the gym. It's nice to see someone have repercussions for their actions, but it's also exhausting dealing with this kind of thing constantly at the gym, even if it isn't quite as overt. But I guess I'll have to keep calm and lift on. This man is so icky. This man is disgusting. I feel like once you realize that someone's ignoring you, you should leave them alone. Like the sumo, like, you know sumo's cheating, right? Leave me alone, sir. And nobody was talking to you. Nobody was asking for your attention. Leave me alone. Shut up. And then saying it twice and louder. Like, obviously I'm ignoring you. I'm ignoring you for a reason. Oh, you have Insta? Let me follow you on your Insta. Why? So you can harass me on there too? No, like, leave me alone. Just weird. Like, it must have been like, honestly, I think, because I see a lot of people saying stuff like, oh, like men like to embarrass themselves in public as like a kink type thing, and I feel like that's what this was, because it's like, oh, she's ignoring me. Like, I feel like this is something that he like kind of got off on, and it was just weird. And I hope any woman that experiences this just know that, you know, it's okay to like go to someone, like go to an administrator or find someone that works there and let them know what's going on in the situation, because it's just incredibly like disrespectful. It's rude. It makes you feel disgusting. Like, it makes you feel like a disgusting object for someone to look at you and be like, hey, your nipples are out, by the way. We're gonna move on to another story. I'm gonna grab some water. Weird. Anyway, I saw this story. It says, am I the butt face for not letting my boyfriend be the hero while we were getting mugged at knife point? Trigger warning, armed robbery, if that's something that triggers you. I don't know why I'm picking like all the stories with trigger warnings on them, but if that's something that triggers you, go ahead and move on to the next story. Like I said before, I have timestamps down below and you'll be able to see that my cats were like fighting and now they're grooming each other. It's weird. But anyway, all right. My boyfriend is a big hero fanatic. He does everything in his power to be like one. It's really endearing and it's one of the many things I love about him, because he wants to be the good he wishes to see in the world. But his mindset he has is why we are fighting right now. We've been quarantining at my apartment. He's not on the lease, and he suggested we go on a night walk because we've been getting stir crazy from being inside all day. He figured that it'd be better for social distancing to go out at night. I was hesitant because we live in a bad neighborhood, but he assured me he'd protect me. On our walk, we were cornered by a man with a knife that demanded our wallets. I remember John Mulaney's Street Smarts bit from the Netflix show and was going to throw my wallet past the mugger so we could run away. But my boyfriend started arguing with him and was spouting off a bunch of stuff about justice and how the mugger wouldn't get away with this. That's so embarrassing. It looked like he was getting ready to fight. I was taken aback by this and guess the mugger was too, because it gave me enough time to take the important stuff out of my wallet while he was distracted. I interrupted my boyfriend's monologue and said, "Take it, just don't hurt us," and threw it behind the guy. When he turned, I grabbed my boyfriend's hand and we booked it back to the apartment. We got home safely and I was relieved that we were okay, but my boyfriend was fuming. He was pissed that I interrupted him from protecting me when he could have, in his words, clearly handled it himself. I told him he could have gotten himself killed. He said that he was obviously stronger than the mugger and would have won. I explained to him that the guy had a weapon and my boyfriend didn't, so the odds were stacked against him. Not only that, but I didn't want my boyfriend to get killed over a damn wallet. We argued for longer than necessary, so I shut it down and told him we can talk about it when our adrenaline wasn't so high, but I needed to file a police report while the event was fresh. He stomped off to our room while I called the cops. When I was on the phone, I went to lay with him, but he rolled away from me. The next day, he was still angry and had already told his friends and family about what had happened to us. I thought they would be understanding about how I handled it, but they were mad at me for not letting him have his opportunity to be a hero. His mom even ridiculed me for emasculating him. I want to reopen the conversation so we can understand each other and move past it, but if he isn't receptive, I'm going to ask him to move back in with his mom. I want to understand where I went wrong, if I went wrong, but honestly, I feel like he's being childish and unreasonable. I just want to know, am I the butthole or is he? Too long didn't read. Boyfriend tried to play hero when we got mugged at knife point. I managed to get us away safely. He's mad that I ruined his chance. The verdict was not the butt face. Your boyfriend's stupid. Your boyfriend's an idiot. And you should dump him because he wanted his chance to be a hero, but he honestly, genuinely, this could have ended up horribly. The guy could have pulled out a gun and just straight up shot him or shot you and just taken what he wanted anyway. OP did the absolute right thing in this story with just throwing the wallet and running, because obviously it worked. The guy was just like, "Oh, wallet." And it's I feel like most muggers, they don't want to kill anyone, they just want things, probably because they're struggling or whatever, and then that's their last resort or whatever. But it's they want something, so just she was really smart and just sliding all her valuables into her little pocket and just throwing the empty wallet. She was OP was just incredibly smart on her feet with doing that, and the boyfriend's just a freaking idiot. You're not gonna get away with this. Put him up, see? And for the mom to be you should let him have his moment to be able to hair out. It's you obviously want a dead son, because he, this man could have died. This man could have died. It's not emasculating to keep your boyfriend alive. It's so stupid. Update and comments. Okay. So, update, I just want to thank everyone who has commented. It relieves me to know that I'm not insane. He's still at his mom's house and I haven't heard from him, nor have I tried to reach out. All of his friends have ghosted me too, except for one of them who is trying to mediate. If I don't hear from him tonight, I'll reach out tomorrow. I plan on updating in the comments depending on where this goes. Again, thank you everyone for sharing your thoughts on this. Drink some more water. Alright, update. So he called me last night and I answered. He asked if I was okay and how I was doing. Then he asked if he could come over and I said he could. I planned on bringing everything up again myself because he had been very passive aggressive and refusing to talk about it. But when he showed up, he immediately started apologizing. Everything you guys pointed out, he started agreeing with. He's saying that he was being delusional, unrealistic, the whole hero fantasy isn't healthy, he jeopardized my safety, and that wasn't okay. I wasn't prepared for this behavior, especially compared to how he'd been acting all week. We talked for hours before we went to bed together, and everything seemed like it worked out fine. I was really on the verge of ending things, so it was a relief I didn't have to in that moment. Then this morning came and S hit the fan. In my comment update on the last post, I mentioned that a friend was trying to mediate. I texted that friend that things worked out and they said something along the lines of, "I'm so glad you were able to apologize." Some people mentioned that maybe he told a different story, which isn't something I looked into, but decided to ask, and boy, I'm glad I did. Firstly, he told everyone that the night walk was my idea. Then apparently we were never mugged. Nope. Apparently I just started talking shit to a stranger on the street in an attempt to make him show he was a strong man and protect me. And the only reason we were able to get away was because he de-escalated the situation. And that it was emasculating because he was put into a position where he felt like he was forced to fight for my honor. Are you effing kidding me? To make a long story short, he tried to play dumb and backpedal this morning. When I confronted him about it, and then when I pressed him to be honest, he snapped again and said, "What was I supposed to say? The whole situation was embarrassing. It was going to make me look bad." We argued again for a bit, but I was done. I told him to go and that it wasn't going to work. He didn't have much stuff, so it was easy to put in a spare grocery bag and just toss at him while he angrily left. He's currently outside my complex waiting for mommy to pick him up. As far as I'm concerned, I dodged a bullet. F his friend, F his mom, and F him. Thank you for opening my eyes, Reddit. Too long didn't read. He came back to talk. It seemed like everything worked out fine and he was understanding. Turns out he lied to everyone about what happened and got mad when I confronted him. I kicked him out. Ladies, this is why we don't want no scrub. This is why we don't want no scrub. So he just lied to everyone. He just and it wasn't even like he picked little, he lied about the whole entire thing. And he didn't even have to do that. He didn't have to tell anyone oh yeah, we were walking and then this guy came up and tried to he straight up just lied about the entire situation. Yeah, she wanted to go for a walk and then she started talking trash talking this dude on the street, and I had to step in, be the man, and de-escalate the situation. Nobody cares. And then oh, I had to, or else I would have looked bad in front of everyone. It's you could have just stayed home and communicated with your girlfriend and made your observation then and be like, oh, you know what, the hero fantasy thing was really dumb and I did put your safety at risk. You could have stayed home and did that. This conversation did not have to leave the fucking room. The conversation did not have to leave the bedroom. It didn't. It really didn't. So then, you go run to mommy, your little mommy's boy. Your little baby mommy's boy, huh? You tell your mom, huh? Go cry into mommy's house, huh? You should be ashamed of yourself. Absolutely ashamed of yourself. Just lying, running to your mommy. This dog doesn't even have a car to go to his mom's house. What are you talking about, bro? It was so stupid. Just stupid. The whole situation was just dumb. I'm so glad you kicked him out. I'm so glad that you left that man behind, and he deserves to be left behind in 2022. I think he should be left. He needs to be left in 2022. And that's what we're gonna do, sis. This is a true off my chest. Yeah, this is true off my chest. True off my chest story time, and it's titled my F26 husband, M29, is obsessed with my boss, F38, and it's all my fault. Okay? Trigger warning. Stalking. I'm sorry I chose all the stories with the trigger warnings, guys. If you don't want to hear anything about stalking, then go over to the next video. If there is a next story, go ahead and go on to that next story. So yeah. Mood spoiler, I'm speechless. I started this job about 1.5 years ago. I can't say what it is because I want to stay anonymous, and our country is very small, so my boss would probably be recognized. The moment I started, I felt like I was in the right place. My boss, the owner of the company, is very cool and kind. She's self-made and she loves her job. She does a lot of the dirty work herself that bosses who had 30 to 35 employees wouldn't have to do, but she just loves it. On top of that, we have a 6-hour workday. Dang. Our salaries are 20% higher than the market, and we have 7 paid vacation weeks a year. 7 paid vacation weeks. Oh my gosh, sorry. Oh, her reasons? She appreciates us and she's getting richer anyway. I was so proud of working with a woman like her, so I wouldn't shut up talking about her to my husband, especially in the beginning. My husband was as fascinated by her as I am until he met her in a company party last Christmas. She must have been beautiful when she was young. She could have been a model. I think this fascination became a crush or an obsession, or maybe worse, love. Now he follows her on SM. Her accounts are private, but he stalks with my account. He also follows the company Instagram and likes every picture she's in. He asks about her all the time. She is a very private person, but when her divorce from her ex-husband was finalized in the beginning of this year, we all found out because he started showing up to work. He owned 1/2 of her company now, and he started to try to make changes in our work hours and salaries. We found out that her husband had cheated on her with a younger girl who he also tried to employ in our company. She still works with us. She, probably lawyers involved, eventually convinced her husband to sell her back his shares. We're still in this process now. My husband has followed all this and he was so sad for her and so angry. How could anyone do this when they had a woman like her? If it was him, he would cherish her, love her, blah, blah, blah. Who leaves a woman for a girl? I got very angry and told him all men prefer younger women if they could choose. He laughed at me and told me only losers do that. The last drop was Friday. We were out for a movie night and we saw my boss with a young man. He looked in his mid-20s. My husband lost it. He didn't know she dated younger men. He wanted us to go and say hello, but I refused and yelled at him to control himself because he looked pathetic. When we got home, he was frenetically going through her SM until he found the guy and he sighed in relief. The guy was her nephew and we didn't see the whole company, but they were out with other family members. My husband was so happy, like a weight lifted off his chest. I lost it on him. I started crying and yelling and told him he was in love with her, and he was shocked when I pushed him and kicked him out of our bedroom. I locked the door. He stood outside trying to calm me down while he told me that he loved me and I'm his girl and will always be. Then he said something that ruined me even further. It's not like someone like her would look my way. I haven't slept since. Why is he feeling like this? Is it love, infatuation? She's too old for my husband, so what is it? And why would he think he couldn't have her? He's very handsome and still young. She should feel lucky a young, handsome man likes her. And does he mean I'm less than her to accept him? Or is it purely her money and status? He refuses to admit anything. And what can I do now? I love this job. I love the benefits. Thanks to this job, our life has improved and we can afford more than just the necessities. I'm starting to hate my boss though, and I hate myself for idolizing her in front of my husband. Edit, sorry this is getting longer, but I have spoken to my mother, sister, granny, some friends about this and about what happened last Friday, and they all think I'm making a big deal out of nothing. The mood spoiler was right, because bitch, I'm speechless. I think the part that really got me, and the part that also got you too, was when he said, it's not like someone like her would look my way. Someone like her? Like, what do you mean? Like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, I'd lose it. I'm not the type to put my hands on my partner, but I think in that moment, I would probably put my hands on him. I would put my hands on him. Big facts. Like, what do you mean someone like her? Like, oh my gosh, what the hell am I? Chopped liver. And then for her to speak to her family members and her friends, and for all of them to say, oh, you're making a big deal out of nothing. No, that's my husband, and he's obsessing over my boss. There's just so much going on, and we haven't even gotten to the update yet, but there's a little too much going on, okay? I don't think you should feel sorry or feel bad about idolizing her in front of your husband, because it's like, I feel like not all, but most people have someone in their life that they look up to, someone that they aspire to be, and I think it's healthy to share those aspirations with their partner, and for him to then turn around and be like, oh, like, well, if my wife is like kind of obsessing over you, like, that means that you're better than her, and then obviously I should be with you instead of, I don't know what his thought process was. Anyway, we're gonna get on into the update. I just found out that my husband, separated, is dating my boss. I don't know what to do. So this is posted 2 months after the original, so December 3rd of this year. Here we go. Hi, I'm in so much pain and I don't know what to do. I don't want to do something stupid while hurting. I got a lot of good advice last time I was here, so I don't know. Maybe you can help me this time too. My old post is linked in my bio. I hope you read it before this one because I don't want to tell the whole story again. I went against my family and friends and asked my husband for separation. I felt like my heart couldn't take it anymore. My intuition told me that my husband wasn't all mine. This was shortly after the event at the movies. My husband was in total confusion. He said I was making a mistake, making a mountain out of a molehill, but he moved in with his brother. However, we decided to start couples counseling too. It went well the first three weeks or so, but my husband became more and more reluctant to participate, and sometimes he would just cancel on me last second. He stopped showing up this month, and he also stopped calling and texting me. I was even more heartbroken, but it solidified that my intuition was right, and I was doing the right thing, seeing that he is not interested in working on us anymore. I chose not to quit my job. I still love it with all the heartbreak, and I really needed the benefits. Like, I'm the only one I know who is having a 3 weeks paid vacation around Christmas and New Year. I never see my boss anyway, and she doesn't even know of my existence. My husband eventually stopped being active on Instagram, and I thought it was normal because we were going through adversaries. Until yesterday, when his brother shared my husband's stories of the night. My husband was in a restaurant holding a woman's hand. I could only see her hand, so my husband had just blocked me and my family and friends from seeing his updates. I commented, WTF. And this morning, my husband called me for the first time in a month, totally scared, and started begging, please don't ruin this for me, please don't ruin this for me. I told him, what do you mean? He said, don't tell her about us. I never made the connection at first. It never crossed my mind, even. That woman in the picture was my boss. I started crying and screaming at him. How could you do this to me? How could you tell me that it was all in my head when it obviously was all over Instagram? He said it just happened. I dumped him and he was single and just happened to find her on Bumble. He begged me not to ruin this for him. She knows he was in the process of divorce, but she doesn't know that he already knew who she was or that she was the boss of his soon-to-be ex. They had been seeing each other for 6 weeks, about 2 weeks after I told him to move, and it is getting serious. He begged for a good 5 minutes, telling me how he hasn't been this happy in all his life and that I shouldn't ruin his happiness since, again, I was the one who ended our marriage. I've been crying since this morning. I don't know what to do. I want to ruin him and his happiness, but I don't know if I have any right to do that, and I'm so worried about losing my job. Please help. Edit for new information. Okay, my husband has been calling me nonstop, and I now have answered him. He is panicking about me telling her everything, so he begged me to give him the chance to tell her himself. His words were, I never stalked her or creeped on her. I just fell for her and was scared that she would think I was creepy since she thought the same. Give me a chance to tell her the truth at my own pace, so at least she doesn't think I'm a liar or a freak like you seem to think. He still swears they matched on Bumble. I didn't know what that was until now, but it's like Tinder, question mark. I'm just devastated right now. He has no regards for me and my feelings. Everything he is thinking of is not to scare her away. When I told him that, he said that I was the one who left him. People fall out of love and that it was okay and no one's fault, and that I was in the right for ending the relationship, but I was the one who ended it at the same time. Don't hurt us, and I promise to give you everything you want. She's happy with me, so don't hurt us. Once again, I am speechless of the audacity of this freaking a-hole. I don't have any words. It's right there. It's plain as day. I have no words. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand. The emotional maturity in OP is, or not even emotional maturity, but like the situational maturity for OP is like incredible, because I just know, ooh, I would have blowed up. It would have been all over Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. I don't care. I'm telling everyone. Anyway, here is the final update. It comes 3 days later. I talked to my boss yesterday, Monday, after lunch. I told her everything. Basically how I was happy I found this job, how I looked up to her and was proud to be working for someone like her, and that this rubbed off on my husband, who grew more obsessed with her each day. I apologized for using obsessed because I didn't know how things were between them, but that it was how I perceived his feelings. I told her about the day at the movie and how it basically made me realize that our issues were greater than I thought. I told her that I know and accept that my marriage is over and that my husband didn't love me anymore, and that the reason I'm telling her now isn't to judge or to blame her, but to let her know the whole story, because it's fair that she knows that he has been following her life for over a year now. Because from what I understand from my husband, you are under the impression that you matched with him on a dating app, I said. She was silent the whole time I was talking, just listening to me until I mentioned the dating app, and that's when she interrupted me. That's not how we met. He's been a patron at my gym for the past 6 months, maybe a year, she said. I know her gym. It's the one across from our workplace. She works out there every morning before coming to work. I didn't know he had joined it because I just knew him to be a member at the gym near our home. He has been, without telling me, working out just across from the street from me every morning without telling me. She looked like how I felt, shocked. I apologized and told her that he has kept dating her a secret from me, and that he begged me not to talk to her, telling me that he hasn't been this happy and so on. She didn't say much, she just thanked me for telling her. Today she asked if she could talk to me. She apologized for everything that happened to me and asked if I needed anything. I said no. She thanked me again. When I got home, my husband was there. He had called me at least 50 times, but my phone was on silent. He was crying, calling me bitter and vindictive and pathetic. He said I ruined his relationship and future. She is scared of him and it's all my fault. He wants me to tell her that he's not dangerous, nor is he a pervert. He wants me to tell her that I was the one who wanted a divorce, and that people fall out of love and it is nobody's fault, and neither is it creepy. He hasn't done anything wrong. He stayed faithful to me and would have stayed that way if I didn't kick him out. He asked me if I ever felt unsafe with him, to make rumors about me being a stalker and a creep. I should tell the truth. I asked him to leave and that I'm starting the divorce from now on, and he can only contact me once I got a lawyer through them. I have been crying since he left. We haven't seen each other for weeks, and he has no feelings whatsoever for me. He looked demented and full of sorrow like a broken little boy. How could he change this fast? Before we separated, he held me and begged me to believe him and his love for me. Was it all a lie? My whole entire relationship? Good night, and thank you for the support. This is a throwaway, and I will be deleting it soon. I just thought I would update before doing that. That is so... It's sad, bro. It's so sad. I'm glad that the boss took everything in stride as well. Like, it was kind of like a woman being there for girls supporting girls. But the husband was definitely stalking. Was for sure stalking the boss. Like, it was like textbook stalking the boss. And the fact that they have only been in the process of divorce for like 2 months, and the boss was like, oh no, he's been a patron at my gym for the last 6 months to a year. I hope he gets the help that he obviously very desperately needs, because it's just not okay. It's just not okay. It's just, you know, the mood spoiler was really on point, because I am definitely speechless. Alright, y'all, I found our final story of this video. There's actually one more story after this as like a palette cleanser, and I didn't know I was going to be doing it when I was making the video, but yes, there's one more story after this, so it's not the final video. Sorry. It is titled, I'm pregnant and my husband has been sleeping with my mother. Trigger warning, manipulation. Obviously, if you don't want to see or want to hear about a story with manipulation in it, you know, please use the timestamps below to move on to the next story. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and get into the story. So this story is still ongoing. There hasn't been a resolution yet, so let's just keep that in mind. Hello. Several friends and relatives follow my main Reddit account, so I made a new one to avoid creating more drama. I'm 26 female, have found out my husband, 30 male, is having sex with my mother, 52 female. I honestly don't know how to react. I'm effing 4 months pregnant and I'm trying not to stress since it's bad for the baby. I honestly had suspicions about my husband cheating. When I announced my pregnancy, he seemed happy. Over the moon, actually. He was kissing me and telling me how lucky he was to have me, but now he's changed. About 2 weeks after my surprise announcement, he stopped hugging and kissing me like usual. He stopped eating meals I'd make for him after work and said he already ate some fast food or something. I also noticed he had changed his lock screen, which was a picture of us. Not sure if that meant anything, to be honest. I found out 3 days ago. I went through his phone while he was in the shower and found text messages, videos, pictures. I'm sick to my stomach thinking about what I saw. I saw pictures of my mom in lingerie. He was replying with pictures of his penis, saying he was so hard. I even saw a message of regret. Maybe that saying, he said that maybe they should stop since he didn't want to hurt me, but my mom said I wouldn't get hurt as long as they kept it all a secret. But what angered me the most was the message she had sent a few days ago. I'll quote it here so anyone reading this can get an idea of how serious their affair is and has been. I love you so much, more than you think. You've helped me through the passing of my beloved ex-husband, and for that, I truly thank you. I know it is hard for you to keep a secret like this. For me, it is too. I love my daughter with all my heart, but she will have to accept eventually that love is love and that the heart wants what it wants. Our hearts want each other. I thought that ever since my husband died, nobody would ever love me because I'm just an old woman. But you have shown me to love myself and made me feel young and sexy again. Let's keep having fun and cherishing each other. I think it's important to know that my father passed away about 5 years ago from a stroke, and my mother said she refused to get back into dating or romance because my father is her forever love and only. It's absolute BS. I'm freaking crushed, and it's the fact that I know they had sex after that message because it was the night he didn't come home until 1 in the morning due to work and paid overtime. I actually threw up after reading that message. I have screenshots of the messages and have sent the videos to myself. Of course, I deleted them on his phone so it looked like he never sent me anything. I'm numb. I'm confused. I'm hurt so bad. I can't even cry because I refuse to believe it. My husband is at work. I'm sitting on the edge of my bed writing this. Any advice? Please, I'm desperate for just a little bit of anything, really. This baby in me is honestly the only thing preventing me from confrontation. I'm afraid that confronting him will cause too much stress and anger, and I want the best for my child. At this point, all I want to do is have my baby. Christmas is soon, and I don't want to ruin it for the family. I also planned on announcing my pregnancy that day. Please help me. This is so sad, bro. This is so sad. I'm just gonna read through the story because I don't have any comments. I have nothing to say. Alright, edit number 1. Hello. Thank you all so much for the support. Really, you don't know how much it means to me to see so many strangers online wishing me well. I did not expect my post to gain this much attention. Around 2 hours ago, I confronted my husband when he came home from work. I told him that I know everything. I showed him the pictures and messages. At first he denied, but when I showed the evidence, he started crying. Actually crying. He had the nerve to cry and get on his knees while holding and caressing my stomach. He told me that I would be a bad mother if I left him and raised my child without a father, because a baby needs their dad in their life to fully grow mentally and physically. I honestly don't know what to say at that, except that is pure BS. I told him that I was contacting a lawyer in order to file for divorce. I had already packed my things before he came home. I am currently staying at a local motel about 30 minutes away from my home. I asked my cousin if I can stay with her for a few days, and she has agreed. I'm getting everything sorted from there. My husband has been blowing up my phone with messages and apologies. He's told me that if I take him back, he won't do anything to hurt me ever again, and that he will cut all ties with my mother. As for her, I've also confronted her. I messaged her once I got to my motel and told her I was pregnant and that she will never see her grandchild. She has not responded yet. I've also moved all my finances that I had in my husband and I's shared bank account to my personal savings account. You don't understand how grateful and appreciative I am for the support. I apologize that I could not reply to all the personal messages I have been receiving as well. It's been hell. I'll try my best to update if my mother does end up replying to me. Again, thank you all so much. I am safe. I've been receiving a lot of messages from those who are concerned for my well-being. I am safe. I'm finally at my cousin's house. Thank you all once again for the supportive messages and replies. I would also like to thank you all for the awards. They mean so much to me. My mental health is getting better every single day. All thanks to you amazing people who offered me advice and kind words. I've chosen to cut all ties with my mother. She messaged me just a few hours ago, and I honestly do not have the heart to reply. It also made me rethink my situation. So this is the text that the mother sent. I'm so sorry for the pain and hurt I've caused you. It was never meant to go this far. I love you so much with every inch of my heart, but you are not the victim. How dare you hold this against me and take away my right to see my one and only grandbaby? You are cruel. If you do this, you will forever live with regretting. I guess it was supposed to be regret. Please do not do this to me. I'm your mother. I love you. I've ended it with OP's husband. We are no longer on speaking terms. Please push past this. A child cannot be raised without a father or grandmother. I love you, OP. Please call me. I cut out some more personal things from the text. I have a lawyer and I am in the process of looking for an apartment. I have no intention of allowing my former husband or my mother into my child's life, but I'm also afraid that my child will grow up deprived of many child-father bonding experiences. This may be my last update as I want to move on away from all this. As for my husband, this message has gone quiet, or his messages have gone quiet, which I'm thankful for. My cousin has been helping me through this and is currently the only family member other than my mom and husband who knows about the affair. I'm very appreciative to all the support. I hope you all have an amazing holiday. The fact that both of them were were literally gaslighting her or manipulating her, whatever. I don't care about the correct terms right now, but the fact that both of them were like, oh, you're a bad, if you don't forgive me, you're a bad person. If you don't forgive me for the crappy things that I did to you, the most horrible thing, the betrayal that I did to you, you're a horrible person. Like, you should be a bigger person and forgive me and allow me to see my person. Like, how dare the mother be like, you're not the victim in this though. Like, I love you with every inch of my heart. You obviously do not, because if you did, you wouldn't have F my freaking husband, bro. Are you kidding me? Honestly, that was supposed to be the last story, but I think I just need like a palate cleanser. So I'm just gonna go on r/wholesome and we're gonna have our last story on there. All right, so this last story is called My Very Wholesome Coworkers. I have autism and a tic disorder, motor and verbal. I've been struggling for a long time to come to terms with and deal with these things. However, when I got my current job, my coworkers took to me like family, just after a few weeks of me working there. It literally started when I happened to spot one of them walking in an aisle in our store, and I pulled the stance. Neurodivergence, you know the one. And he got spooked because I'm a bit of a shell until I get to know people. The funny part is, it was a complete accident. My brain slipped and forgot I was at work, so it did something I usually only do around friends, and it opened the gateway to new relationships for me. I had one coworker, S20 male, who gifted me a fidget cube after a few weeks of working together. It's black and pink. Pink is my second favorite color. He noticed I was struggling with my stimming, and I'd mentioned to him once that I wanted to see if it would help, so he gifted it to me on our next shift together. They let me rant about K-pop and tell them all the little details of my favorite idols, even though they don't listen to it. Two of my coworkers actually started listening because I raved so much about Stray Kids, and they are interested to see what their music was like. My managers don't mind if I can't come into work because I'm having a bad mental health day. As long as I text one of them beforehand, they're still understanding and give me the time I need to be able to actually work. I called one of my managers the night content creator I really looked up to passed away, RIP Technoblade, and none of my coworkers got upset that I just vanished off the face of the planet for a week to deal with that. I don't know, I just love all my coworkers like family. They've all been so nice to me since I started. They let me talk their ears off and don't mind if I need to disappear for a few minutes. When I get overstimulated on the clock, when I came out as trans, they all instantly took to my new pronouns, and a few months later, when I found my preferred name, they all did their best to make sure to use it. I literally can't imagine myself working in a better place with better people. Thank you for reading. Aww. I love it when people aren't freaking a-holes. I love it when people are just freaking nice to everyone. I'm exhausted. Today's drained me. Oh, well, anyway. It's 1 o'clock, so I'm gonna start editing this video, and I have to go take one of my coworkers to get a haircut later today because he doesn't have a car, so he asked me to take him to the barbershop. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Please don't forget to follow me on all my social medias. I'll see you guys in my next video, which will hopefully be soon. All right, love you guys. Bye. My cat's just sitting here just looking at himself. You want to say hi to the camera, Shadow? Say hi. Say hello. You guys want to see me hold him like a little baby?